Sup guys, Old Shay here. A lot of stuff to talk about after the games, so keeping the intro short. We present you some mind games today, let's jump in and see what happens. Our quote for today by the great Russian writer Leo Tolstoy from his novel Anna Karenina reads, "If you look for perfection, you'll never be content." Something to think about, and now the games. We have to be really careful against wheezing, because the game dies right away if they get us locked up with nothing to do. Our hand looks okay here because of our one boss and one robe, at least a chance to fight back. Zapdos will be really strong this game against Eternatus VMAX. We also have 4 Mirage Gates plus the 2 fighting energies to make that plan happen. Here's their wheezing, but we have quite a lot of resources in hand to deal with it. Not bad to get rid of their Eternatus here, along with 2 energies. Got our win condition here, but we need to allow them the time for a bigger Eternatus. And over this time they have all their chances to play Marnie. Some may think the Snorlax attack is not necessary here, but we can't be sure to have Sky Seal Stone in hand when Zapdos attacks Eternatus. This play consumes quite some resources, but reduces 1 piece from our win condition. We know the boss is in the deck, but couldn't find him last turn, so we will take some risk now and try to fish their Eternatus out with Raikou as bait. Looking good. GG. Not having Zapdos here is pretty bad for us because we have no answer for Stoutland. We should have taken Zapdos here, was too confident they don't play Stoutland because we don't see it on the bench after 2 chances of basic Pokemon Search. That's 3 of their powerful energies, so perhaps they really don't play Stoutland. Expecting an amazing Raikou sometime since they committed a boss on Manaphy. We have Clara here, so we're looking at a price trade of 2 for 5. GG. We still don't know what attacker they pair up with Arceus, but not having Zapdos here kind of sucks because the 3 prize play from Arceus V-Star is great for our macro, aka prize plan. We have never seen Arceus Regieleki, but looks like they are both weak to fighting, and we have Zapdos in prize. We have to deal some damage before we find Zapdos from prize, so Snorlax is our best bet. We failed to count the energies on Snorlax, and the last Psychic was prized, so wasted the Mirage Gate. Fortunately, we could still hand attach the fighting and retreat comfy for Snorlax to punch another hole. Should have realized earlier, but this is such a horrible prize pool. 2 Mirage Gates, 1 boss, and Zapdos. We could have knocked out their Arceus here with Sableye, but we preferred to keep the rope for their VMAXs. An almost hard mess up here. The right play was escape rope to force out one of those VMAXs and then zap those out. But luckily we had a spare switch card in hand, so got away with it. GG. This is our last video with Lost Zone for a while, so might as well share a compilation of our stats and some thoughts. As you can see from the table here, our count of Lost Zone games played adds up to 224, and we won 118 of them. The win rate is 52.68%, but this number is not significant as there is a great difference in performance between different decks. In a nutshell, Gudra plays best on the ladder, winning almost 7 out of 10 games, but it also plays least like a Lost Zone deck out of the 5. The Lost Zone count for Gudra usually stops at 7, when the first Gudra V-Star starts rolling with the energy acceleration from Mirage Gate, and from that point onward, the deck becomes just Gudra, no Lost Zone. For your information, if a deck maintains a 70% win rate, a player reaches Master League from the very bottom of Great League after roughly 180 games of grinding. Whereas if the win rate drops to 60%, the number of games doubles to 360. So who cares about Lost Zone loyalty, if it's even a thing? Keep in mind we should probably give Kyogre some extra credit since it's the first Lost Zone deck we played, and it's also arguably the one that demands the highest skill level to play, so quite a lot of loses as our process of learning. From a 1 to 10 scale in terms of difficulty to play, we would say Kyogre gets an 8, Sky gets 7, Giratina between 5 and 6, Gudra probably 5, and for reference Arceus Pikachu is more like a 4. A bit about strategy to finish the video. When we play Lost Zone, just like any other decks, our first goal in the game is to set up our resources on the board. The typical ideal opening for Lost Zone includes 2 Comfies, Greninja, Oranguru, and Manaphy if the opponent plays any bench attacker. From that point on, we try to pile cards in the Lost Zone while dealing chip damage with Cramorant until our win condition manifests. We usually think about a game in terms of macro and micro, but that's a bit too complicated for the closing part of this video, and we do seem a wee bit too inexperienced with the game to give a lecture on something so ballsy. Lost Zone hates item lock and ability lock, but with Vikavolt V rotating out with other D-block cards, the latter becomes our only option to slow them down. Though the good news is Lost Zone also loses Scoop Up Net, which makes the build of their Lost Zone count significantly slower. But they will play more escape ropes with that extra deck space to get around ability lock, and 3 comfy boards may become a new trend. We can also disrupt their hand with Judge or win the prize race through attacking the squishy Pokemon on their bench. Overall, a lot of different things we can do. Judge is probably the best among them after rotation. We'll talk more about this after we actually played some games in the new format. Looking forward to see you again in Scarlet and Violet, and this is all we have for the DEF format. Peace.